You want to adopt a duck? Paws Across the Water is coming up soon. What's it all about? You'll find out. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach and its upcoming fundraiser, Paws Across the Water. And we're visiting with Michelle LoPinto, the Executive Director of the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
So exciting on a Monday to be
here.
thinking about a big event in September.
I know it. I know it. And we're both so awake right now.
I know.
That traffic kind of woke me up getting here.
I'm sure getting down here early this morning. That's
exactly.
right. It is kind of hectic. It's amazing to think even in the 6 o'clock time period now in the summertime, and we are now in the summer, a heck of a lot of folks are on the Strand. You know, of course, for our viewers in the PD in southeastern North Carolina, many of them are not thinking about the heavy traffic that the Strand is facing.
They will be
right
if
now.
They come to visit us, won't they?
I'm sure they will. That's right. But there's probably not too many folks in our viewing area who don't come down here at some point during the year.
That's true.
What about yourself, Michelle? What brought you to the area originally, or are you originally from the area?
No, I'm originally from Ohio. As a matter of Warren, Ohio. It's just a small town up near the Pennsylvania borderline. My mother wanted to retire down here. All the kids were out of school, and it was between here and Virginia Beach. We came here first and looked around, and she fell in love, and we ended up here. Of course, we also came during a hurricane, that we had no idea what a hurricane was.
No.
And just thought that was just so exciting. Little did we know.
Oh my God. What year was that, Michelle?
Let's see. That was 1984.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3 months before I originally then decided to move down.
Golly. That's a big move, and of course a big commitment. Of course, did your mom just come down? She came down by herself?
Well, yes, but as it turned out, she couldn't sell the house, so I had to be here for 2 years before she got here.
Wow.
So yeah, it was not exactly the way we planned, but it all worked out, and she's here now. I've been here 20 years, and she's been here about 18, and it's worked out very well.
That's great. What is it? The Humane Society that's kept you here in the area?
I think so.
Other than your mom moving down here, of course, that's nice to be with her. I mean, but
most likely, yes. I mean, I know there's 1,000 humane societies out there, and other animal-related jobs that I could take. But yeah, this is home. Without giving away my age, I've been here almost as long as I was in Ohio. So yeah, I would say I feel comfortable here, and I like the people. I like the area.
I think you said earlier before we started filming that the Humane Society at one time had been just a county-wide group, and that it has since split up at least into 2, if not more. When
I first got here in 1984, it was sectioned in 2. There was the Grand Strand Humane Society, which took care of Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, 2 separate shelters but run by the same organization. And then there was the county shelter, which was out off of Highway 90. Since then, the county shelter has a new building and has moved out onto, I believe it's 701, and the split between North Myrtle Beach and Myrtle Beach was right around 2001.
Is that right?
Right.
So that recent?
Yeah, it's fairly new. It hasn't been a long time. So that's when the shelter in North Myrtle Beach became the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach, and then Grand Strand Humane Society operates the Myrtle Beach shelter.
Right. So you had that long-standing tie to the Grand Strand Humane Society since back to 1984.
Years.
Wow. Not to date you there, but yeah. To think back, I mean, that's quite a while.
It was. I met a lot of good people in all that time and made a lot of friends. I worked under Martha Canterbury, who is deceased now, but had more or less helped start all the animal organizations. So I learned from the best and learned pretty quick.
Viewers who aren't familiar with the Humane Society, what are y'all all about? What's the mission of the Humane Society? Let's go ahead and say the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. What's y'all's mission, and how active are y'all on a day-to-day basis?
I think, of course, all humane societies have a different mission statement, but I think that it all boils down to homeless animals need a place to go to where someone can take care of them. Whether they are being surrendered by an owner or being picked up by an animal control officer as a stray, being lost from a tourist. There's all different reasons why an animal can end up in a shelter. But I think that the main mission is to make that animal as comfortable as possible while it's there for however long it's going to be there. Mm-hmm. And if they need medical attention, to try to take care of that. And then, of course, the main objective always is, if their owner doesn't come for them, to find them a home, a good, a good lasting home.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if most owners, I guess, take advantage of collars or no to make sure they can track down their pets, or is that pretty uncommon?
Well, the ones, I would probably say that the majority do not have collars.
Really?
And the ones that do don't have tags on them. Mm-hmm. So they're of no value whatsoever.
Yeah, that's strange.
So unfortunately we don't return a lot of animals to their owners that we should, because we don't know who they are. We rely on them to call us with lost and found reports. And I want to stress that, Greg. A lot of people will call me and say, yeah, I lost my cat about a month ago. They shouldn't wait a month. Yeah. They need to call right away. Even if the cat is just next door eating at the next door neighbor's house, call and alert us, so we can try to put these animals back with their owners.
So it's very possible that you all have had their cat or dog for almost a month, and of course even possibly repurposed it. I mean, possibly
very common.
Someone may have adopted the pet by then.
I had a couple come in the other day. 10-year-old cat. It's been sitting at the shelter for 2 months. They just decided to come in and to look to get another cat.
To get a new one.
And there's their cat sitting there.
Oh my God.
I'm like, did you call with the loss report? Well, no, we just thought he ran off. So it's kind of sad.
10-year-old cat.
Yeah. So I was glad that he left. I was glad he went back home.
Yeah, that is a big deal. And I guess for you, Michelle, and all the volunteers on a regular basis, you all probably begin to build some pretty serious bonds with the pets.
Yeah, unfortunately, we get a little too attached to certain ones. You try not to. It's extremely hard. Right now, we have about 83 dogs and puppies, and probably right around about 180, 82 cats and kittens.
No way.
Yeah, we are filled to over capacity. 265 cats and dogs. It's only going to get worse. We're right in the middle of breeding season, where all these animals are in heat. It'll top that by end of next month.
Do you all have room, Michelle?
No, you just keep trying to make room. You just keep hoping that you're going to do more adoptions. Because as soon as you adopt an animal, that frees up a cage or a dog pen. But it just seems like before you can even really get excited about it, you've got 3 or 4 coming in to take that one's place.
Wow.
So it gets a bit stressful in the spring and summer.
Michelle, if a viewer needs to get off to work now, what's a good number to call to learn about the Humane Society? Or do you all have a website they could visit to learn about even some of the volunteer opportunities?
Yes, we have both. Definitely call us at 249-4948.
Okay.
And our website is www.hsnmb.com.
Okay, HS, Humane Society, NMB, North Myrtle Beach, hsnmb.com.
Right.
And 843-249-4948.
That's correct.
Again, of course, in a few minutes we'll focus on the Paws Across the Water and the big event coming up on September 10th. Actually, later this week, Melinda Chapel will be with us, and I believe they're having a big event on September 10th as well.
I think they
Another
are.
Their red, white, and blue ball, which we'll be highlighting later in the week. But, of course, that'll be a big day for the North Myrtle Beach area, September 10th.
It is, and we're right behind them. They're building that aquatic center right in front of our shelter.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty exciting for us because maybe more people will know where we're located at.
Absolutely. What are y'all's hours, Michelle?
We're there Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 6, and Saturday, 11 to 4.
Okay, Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 6. Mm-hmm. So a viewer could pop in possibly after work if they get off. Do you have a pretty good flood in that?
Usually between 4 and 6, we're very busy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we extended it. We used to close at 5, and we found a lot of people couldn't get off work. So we do stay open till 6 so they can get there. And then, of course, Saturday is usually family day is what we call it. You know, that's where the mom and dads come with their children, and so Saturdays are pretty busy too.
I remember talking to a friend who said for a birthday party she was having for her son, they would all the kids would bring presents for the Humane Society
Isn't that
of North
nice?
Myrtle Beach, and they'd bring them all down to y'all, I guess, on a Saturday.
It's very nice. Yeah, the idea has really caught on, and it just really warms my heart that a child would do that. You know, birthdays are pretty big things.
Yeah.
For I have an 8-year-old, and you know, he's looking forward to those presents.
Right.
So to actually do that for animals, that's pretty special.
So it may be difficult to convince your son to...
Well, you notice I didn't say that my son was doing that.
Right. Yes, that's right.
But then he helps out at the shelter, and he's got his chores at home with all of our animals. So he does probably a lot for animals.
Now, y'all do a monthly or a bi-monthly a newsletter that goes out, or quarterly newsletter?
It's quarterly.
It's quarterly. I think I saw a message from the director, or a message from you. And, of course, you were highlighting that aspect that pets are a big responsibility. Of course, the summertime is such a great time as folks look to adopt, because there's the opportunity for the child to be involved with the pet all during the summer, to learn about his or her activities.
It's a good time period because a lot of people, well, especially if their school teachers are off from work, and they can spend time with these animals. And I think I really touched on it. I was trying to put forth a lot of people don't realize how long animals can live.
Right.
Cats and dogs are living to be 20 to 25 years old.
I was fascinated by that.
That's amazing, isn't it? So I think I said something about when the child goes off to college, the animal's still there.
You did. Yeah, I read that. That's right. Your child may go off to college, and you'll still have Rex and Callie to take care of. And senior pets can take a whole different type of care. I'm so glad y'all put that together, because it's critical that folks think about that, and they think about some of the activities that go on in pet ownership. What are some of the most frequently asked questions that folks think of when they're calling the Humane Society for the first time?
Well, of course, with anything with puppies, it's what's the easiest way to housebreak. All right, I have no golden idea on that. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, you know, just like you would potty train your child.
Right.
Probably the other thing is people with, a lot of people want to get elderly people kittens.
Huh.
And that's not such a good idea, for the simple fact that you know, kittens like to play rough. They've got the little claws, and they like to climb, and they like to chew. And older people's skin is very thin.
Much thinner.
Right, and there can be some damage there. And they can get bruised up. Same way if they get a puppy, they could trip. So we try to steer them off into maybe an older animal, you know, maybe a year-old, something like that. It's still very young and playful, but, you know, is a little... not as rambunctious.
Not quite as rambunctious, sure.
Right.
Sure. Well, what are some of the things that folks should be asking when they come in they may not think of? What are some of the least asked questions that are really the most important? I think when you think about some of those aspects of just the huge time commitment that it takes to ramp up, I'm sure a lot of folks pop in and think, oh, this would be great for Johnny or Mary, and we'll bring this home, but then Johnny and Mary's just not interested.
You know, I go through that a lot at Christmas time. Christmas time is a bad time because everybody wants to get their girlfriend or boyfriend or mother or dad a puppy or a kitten. and it is not a good time to do that. Just like it's really not a good time to surprise anyone with an animal. I have a lot of animals that get turned into the shelter because they'll say, I didn't want this animal. My son came home with it. So what we try to steer them with on that is a gift certificate. Come down, you can pay for the gift certificate, put it under the tree or put it in their birthday card, and let that person come down and choose what they want. You'd be surprised the difference. We all don't think alike. What might look cute and cuddly to me is not, maybe not what someone else might think.
Sure,
right,
sure.
Right. So we try to steer them away from giving as gifts, or, it can still be a surprise, but, bring that person down and then surprise them while they're there, and let's all discuss it and talk about it.
Absolutely. Mom, guess what? You got a $100 gift certificate. You can pick up that cat or this. And, of course, there is an important need. I mean, these are essentially donations for y'all when they're purchasing a pet or
that's correct. I mean, all the money is going to the animals. It goes back in, of course, for all of their care and feeding. And it's not that you want to deter them from getting an animal. You want to make sure that they understand that this animal it's not like going to a store and exchanging something.
Right.
It's a living, breathing creature. It takes a lot of time, and it can live to be a long lifespan.
Michelle, are there volunteer opportunities? Do you all have needs for volunteers?
Always. We can never have enough volunteers.
What are some things that a viewer could do or could be involved in? And, of course, that's probably indicative of all humane society, whether it's the one out on 701 or the Grand Strand down on 10th Avenue Extension or y'all's facility up in North Myrtle Beach. What are some of the most critical volunteer needs y'all would have?
To come in and basically spend time with the animals. I know that probably sounds strange, and even though we're there 8-10 hours a day, we are not spending one-on-one with each and every animal. We're answering the phones, we're busy talking to the public, we're cleaning. We need volunteers to come in and brush these cats and bathe these puppies and walk these dogs. And then if we get lucky enough and they want to help us clean cages, that's wonderful too. Or come in and answer the phones.
Great.
The lobby can get very busy with people losing animals or needing dog licenses or cat licenses or adopting, and we need all the people we can get. I think that's it for all shelters. I think that's very important. And a lot of people say I can't do it. It makes me too sad to walk in there. But you'd be surprised. Once you come in once or twice and you start seeing the same animals and you get to know their names, and not that you're really attached, but you're glad to see that they're doing well. You know what I'm saying? And that they're not out on the highway being killed or anything. And I've had a lot of volunteers say, I didn't think I could do it, but I'm glad I'm here, and they've been with us a couple years.
Have you ever had folks that come in, not necessarily to volunteer, but let's say they had an innate fear of dogs, for instance. They want to come in and try to overcome that fear.
Sure.
Come in to walk dogs or to have something. I think for children who didn't grow up with pets in the house and are now meeting dogs or...
Right. It's a perfect place to come because we've got all shapes, sizes, temperaments, ages, and breeds. We can start them out with whatever they want, take them out in the yard, let them be comfortable, let them sit with the animal or pet it or do whatever they want. There's no pressure on them. You know what I'm saying? And it's really good to see children that are very afraid of animals to come down, and I'll tell the parents, come back. Just keep coming back. And they may fixate on one certain animal, and it's good that the child starts to calm down and feel a lot better.
I bet that is.
Yeah.
Michelle, we got about 5 minutes, and of course a huge focus is Paws Across the Water. Big event.
We're pretty
September
excited
10th.
about it.
Break down the day, what y'all are expecting that day, and I think there's a separate phone number, the 843-626-4006. There's a lot of critical information about Paws Across the Water. But that's September 10th. What's the day going to be like? What's it all about?
I think it's going to be crazy.
Oh, wow, yeah. That'll get folks out there.
Yeah. We're really looking forward to it. I think I believe that it starts around 4:30.
Right.
4:30, and I had never heard of an event like this until it was brought up at the board meeting, and it's really exciting. These are the little ducks.
Oh, yeah.
Some people think that they were real ducks. We need to clarify they're just little plastic rubber ducks.
Right. But there
Very
are
cute.
adoption papers. Yeah.
Yes, you have to adopt a duck just like you would adopt a puppy or a kitten.
Yes.
They're $5 a duck, and a number will be put on the bottom.
Great.
And then when they drop them into the waterway, we're hoping for 10,000. Whoever's duck comes up and they have the winning number, there will be plenty of prizes. We're having a lot of sponsors out there. There will be a lot of food, a lot of festivities, a lot of
Right.
booths set up, a lot of raffles going on.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a big event. We're pretty excited,
Absolutely. And
as long as the weather holds out.
And the hsnmb.com has some critical information there. I think I saw there was another site, nmbduckrace.com, but at hsnmb.com there's a lot of info. And of course, if folks called you at the Humane Society or called that 626-4006
They'll
number,
find out everything.
they will find
right.
a lot of critical.
That's why we put on the second line if they can't get through to us at the shelter because we're so busy with the phones anyways, they can definitely get through and find out anything they need to know. And we have the adoption paperwork at the shelter. Instead of spending $5 at the grocery store, come down and adopt a duck.
Adopt a duck, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can adopt five ducks for $25.
Right.
I think you could adopt, I think I saw 12 ducks
Is
for
it-
$50.
Is
And
it-
you could
yeah, I
adopt
think it is.
100 ducks, which sounds like a big responsibility, for only $425. So again, these adoption for the ducks, these are really donations to the North Myrtle
right.
Beach, the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach.
Right. It all goes to all those animals we were just talking about to keep them alive and healthy and well and fed.
So all the checks, are they written to the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach?
That's correct.
They are. Great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's tremendous. Well, that will be a big day then, of
Yeah,
course.
we're pretty excited.
You've got the folks from Next Media Radio really pumping it up, and Kathy Honeycutt at Fox 43.
She's really the one to thank for all this. It was her idea, and she's put a lot of hard work into it, and we're very excited and happy that they're
Yeah.
doing this for us.
Sure, there'll be a plethora of folks out there. We just got a couple of minutes. You think about some of those volunteer opportunities and the time involved, as you say. Even if you don't have a natural affinity towards animals, there's still the desire to come in and help answer the phone, so that you there have the time to go and spend that one-on-one
Right,
with the
and
animal.
it's totally, if you can spend an hour a day, an hour a week, it's up to your schedule.
Right.
Same way with the dog walkers. That's how a lot of people are losing weight. They'll come on their lunch hour, walk a couple dogs, go back to work.
Great.
And
Good.
that way it gets our animals outside of the pens and helps both parties, all the way around.
I think I saw you all have some other good fundraising opportunities
We
this
do.
summer, Michelle. What are some of
So
those that
busy.
viewers need to get on the calendar?
We're usually always at La Bellamy Vineyards.
Right.
I believe we'll be out there in July.
Right.
We have Art in the Park coming up at Chapin Park,
Great.
July 9th and 10th.
Okay.
We got a big event coming up June 25th in the Hooters parking lot in North Myrtle Beach.
Right, your fourth annual.
Yes, fourth annual, and that's what I was doing this morning, was pricing. And
Early this morning, yeah.
There's 3 buildings full of things.
Wow.
So yeah, that's going to be a big sale. And again, all the proceeds go to us. We keep very busy, Greg, with fundraising, because that's how we stay in business.
Oh, yeah.
We probably do, I want to say, 3 or 4 a month. We just finished up with a very successful hot dog sale at Kroger's in the Galleria, $700.
You're kidding. Great.
Just selling hot dogs.
Just selling hot dogs.
Yeah.
Those must have been some expensive hot dogs.
No, they weren't. People were very generous.
Is that right?
And we had animals out there. We did a couple adoptions. Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great. As you look back on your 20 years now with the Humane Society, whether the Grand Strand Humane Society or more recently the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach, what's been the most exciting aspect for you, Michelle, as you look back over that time?
First of all, I can't believe 20 years has gone by.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I had no idea that I would even get into this line of work, and I still am very humbled when I talk about it. I can't think of one thing because I love those animals so much, and it's so rewarding every day. They are so glad to see you in the morning. You know, it's some people don't like to go to work. Some people, you know, they hate going to work. They're not looking forward to it every day. For 20 years, I've been very lucky to be able to say I enjoy going to work, and at night to know that I did something good, whether it was for an adoptive family, you know, placed an animal with them, or just did something good for an animal.
Right.
I don't think I'd trade them for $1 million.
That's great. Those are great words. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Michelle LoPinto coming up next. You know, that number 2 cuts into a lot of this. We didn't talk about Michelle's 2 birds, but we got 2 phone numbers and 2 websites. It's critical to think about them. 249, I think it's 4948, 249-4948. Another great phone number, 626-4006. A lot of critical information about Paws Across the Water. NMBDuckRace.com. That's a great site to take a look at. It's got some critical information. Or HSNMB.com. 222. Although we didn't talk about those 7 dogs or 8 cats that Michelle's got, we did hear her talk about her one son and the commitment that an 8-year-old makes. You know, grooming, getting out there. Whether you're 8 or 80, there's some volunteer opportunities at the Humane Society of North Myrtle Beach. Take the time to give them a call. Whether you go in there, you heard her say it, for 1 hour a day or 1 hour a week, the need is there. Donations are needed, but time is critical to give them more time to be able to spend with the pets. Give them a call at 843-249-4948.